play, but Stridex looked pretty formidable moving forward.
Yeah, they look confident. Like I said, they've been known to be that OT clutch squad, and I like seeing them play more aggressive, big plays, man. Sweeping teams. It wasn't a stagger fest. It was just run in, sweep, get the point, on to the next. And they just really showcased how strong they can be as a squad. I like to hear him say, looking more into those VODs. So, you know, that's where all this stuff really comes into play. Having a coach or just really working together as a team to try to improve on your mistakes from previous days. And talking about improving on mistakes, we can talk a little bit more about what we're going to see from these two new teams coming up in the next match right after this short break.
So Shroud team, they won 2-0. And there is Fly, EGOT, Hunter Thief, and Envy. There's a lot of next games. What is this? Capture. After your stream ends. Oh. Alright. I am Groot.
Double KO.
I am Groot. Banana, banana. Two minutes. Top 100. Hold on, let's see what he's talking about.
I've compiled 100 tips and tricks for Marvel Rivals and put them all in this one video. There's so much going on in this game, and there's also so much that you would just never even know unless you watch a video like this. From the best settings to use, hero-specific tricks, gameplay strategies, and secret advice you never knew before. We'll be covering it all.
We'll see it later. I don't want to get any fucking copyrights.
And in 6 days after playing, I hit Grandmaster, and now I'm on my way up to Eternity. Here are some of the results for some of my students that I've coached, and timing on a hit scan hero, you want to play BlackWidow, which I'll explain later. Now, an example of clicking hit scan heroes, see their projectile fly through the air, or after you click, it takes a second for it to actually character based on what you want to try. A little more explaining. But before we go into it, let me send me your score, and maybe I'll try my best to beat it. Practice a clicking hero, you can just switch to the character up here and you'll get great practice in from a different angle. Now when you're
not really. Victoria, what's up? How you doing? All right, let's see where's the tourney now. I'm waiting for the fucking next match, which is Ego Dead, FlyQuest. Who's playing on FlyQuest? FlyQuest, Marvel Rivals team. I'm acting like I fucking know, but I don't know anyone. What? Adios. Energy, light. Yeah, I don't know anyone here. Thanks for asking. You're welcome. You're welcome. How's it going?
That went back towards
You're browsing in Kick. Any fun games or something like that? I'm trying to watch some pros playing so I can learn how to play this game. This is the first tourney, I guess. Yeah, I guess this one is the first official tourney. So let's see what's the level compared to a noob like me. Can you just fucking start? They've been talking for... It's going pretty well. Alright, alright. Happy to hear that. It's fucking hot. Yesterday and today, I was melting. No, I'm kidding. It's not that hot. I'm from Africa. The weather here is not hot. Fuck. I need a new headset. Look at this shit. You see this? For like a week or two, you know, it's constantly changing North America compared to EMEA when they had VP dominate all those months. But yeah, I need the new one. This is a team that can be at the top. They know they gotta buy one. It's just a matter of, you know, like having a good draft, figuring out their identity, and it's maybe getting more down to you know, the specifics about what compositions they want to play. Like we saw them play Iron Fist outside of that, right? That's been the only time we've wait, hold on. I'm live on YouTube too. Let's see if this is working or not. Oh yeah, it's working. Yay! Alright, let's leave this one here. And let's leave Kick here. For some reason I don't want to stream on Twitch. I don't know why. Even though I know a game like Marvel Rivals is famous on Twitch, way better than Kick. With Self and Zatex, who you know, is one of the few heroes or people in this tournament that have had their heroes heavily targeted in the ban phase, definitely putting them in a position to be considered some of the top DPS or duelists in this tournament. So looking really good here as we have a glance here on Ego Death running through and taking out Shikigami. Really well played by Ego. Yeah, really well played, I think, in their matchup versus Shiki, like you mentioned. What? It's already started? Oh, no, that's a VOD, right? Oh, yeah, it started. Hold on. Lock in. Of this team on Ego Death, playing pretty much every duelist. Alright, so what we have here? Oh, Hela. That's nice. I play Hela. We've seen teams lose because they were unflexible, right? Because they have somebody who can only play Spider-Man. Because so they run in somebody that can only play Star-Lord, right? These sort of things. Oh, what the fuck? This is not the match. These just highlights. That is like this current one, right? Stop playing with me, man. Heavy. We have a lot of heroes that need to be played, and you have to flex towards them, like the Psylocke. So Zatek has been an unsung hero, but like you mentioned with Self, I think he is a top-tier player. Their backline as well. That's not the name of the next match, right? I think yeah, FlyQuest. Obviously, I think he's seen as one of the top duelists in the game, specifically at Black Panther, and has made his name at that hero, similar to how Damon has done a similar thing across the pond. Energy. Energy is the first. Yeah, and now we're going to move on to FlyQuest. Let me check something. Also, an incredibly strong team. Vess, and yesterday, I believe, played the Magneto and had 17 final hits. One of the most disgusting final hit quantities there for Magneto, with some mean Meteor M's. Another team not afraid to run some more obscure comps. We saw some successful Jeff Natos on the side of Fly, who now have Adios in the lineup at this point, who are looking more consistent. Obviously, the first game they had together was a little bit more of a struggle, but they did still push through and get to this stage of the tournament. But now it is going to be the rematch of Doom, where they need to showcase that they can win against Ego, who notifications are on or not on Kick. How to counteract this dive a little more, and was more taken aback by the sheer look at that ult right there by Vest. Speaking of his final hits, gorgeous on a 5-piece right there. Don't forget to follow. It took him by surprise. So will they be able to shift? Will they be able to look back on the VOD? Will they be able to understand their mistakes and bounce back from it and take home this dub? What? We will find out very shortly. And like I said, so they won. No, they didn't. Domination, because Ego's just been struggling in dom.
Yeah, and I want to see what they play, right? We've seen a lot of Hulk out of them. We've seen it, you know, in other regions as well. It's been sort of a hero that's sort of, you know, on the outside looking in of the meta. But hey, a pick that can be played, and you know, FlyQuest, like you mentioned, is a great team, and Vest, like you said, he's a really good bagging player. Can play other heroes as well to a pretty high level. And also, I mean, in his interview, he had like,
come on, give us the match, man. Stop talking.
I mean, it was just all over the place, looking like an anime character. So, I mean, shout out to FlyQuest. We'll see how they do today. But Ego Death trying to keep up their momentum. We haven't seen we saw their other unsigned team, TechEXT, falter. We'll see if they can maybe reclaim the victory over FlyQuest again, and this time maybe not an upset, but sort of a staple match.
I love how Fly is showing everyone on Panther here, just to kind of call it out there. Love to see it. Self in the last matchup actually had Panther and Torch banned out heavy.
All right,
target,
finally, motherfuckers,
for one of the
give
first
us the
times we've seen this
game.
entire tournament, the Hawkeye, and played really
So they
well
banned
with the team up, finding a ton of value with that stun into headshots.
what is her name?
Fuck. Hero pool, which I think we need to see more of as we progress through.
The Torch is banned? Why? Is he overpowered?
Finding ways to, you know, target somebody or at least shut down specific compositions that forces you to pull maybe some more unique heroes out of the bag, as we see Emma and Mag back and forth.
So Mag is banned.
We're going to be locked
Magneto
for the side of FlyQuest, and we are going to see the lock-in for Magneto on the side of Ego Death.
Yeah, this might be, like you mentioned, the target of Self. I mean, Black Panther ban, we see the Torch ban. Self plays these two heroes to such a high level. Also, you know, plays that Wolverine, but I think it's way easier for him to maybe carry on the Black Panther and the Human Torch. And the game plan,
Black Panther in a high level
sort of style where they play the, you know, the thing where Hulk can just toss in that Wolverine.
They do?
So right now for FlyQuest, like you mentioned, Shib, targeting specifically
Victoria,
Self,
do
and
you
on the
play this game or not?
Ego Death, getting rid of the Human Torch because of how strong the hero can be, and the Ultron. They're going to double down potentially on that Adam Warlock as well. Not any focus towards Loki, interestingly enough.
See if they're going to lock in Luna here and maybe run that Hawkeye again. There is a chance that they'll... Yeah,
all right, so you need Luna, obviously.
And I do believe we might see the Hawkeye back on the field here for Self, but we're going to see the next ban. Obviously, two of Self's heroes banned off the rip. We do see we've had the conversation around Human Torch being an incredibly strong hero. Obviously has some very difficult movement techs that will allow you to be, you know, it's just really hard to get him out of the sky, and has that escape with the dash down. So yeah, goodbye to Human Torch, who has been a menace in this tournament, and we will see some...
The Human Torch is banned? Is he that good?
Potential Iron Fist there from Self again.
Yeah, the real evolution for Self, I think, is to pick up that Psylocke eventually. I think that would definitely help out his hero pool slightly. I mean, Wolverine is a great hero, but, you know, it's hard to dive with the Captain America, specifically on Wolverine. He's sort of on his own little island on the opposite side. You know, we do have that cap as well, and very targeted bans, like you said. And you know, you may be looking at that and you're like, okay, why is Black Panther, Torch, and Venom banned? You know, I didn't see any of these bans before. It's because, like you said, Shib, targeting specifically him. You know, we'll see how that pans out in terms of the ban phase. You know, maybe that
is not a usual ban. I gotta be honest.
Team such as Ego Death, you know, focusing maybe more on their bans is something that's going to help out the side of FlyQuest, because they didn't do that last time. I think they showed a little bit of ego on their side,
CS2 now.
Specific heroes for the side of Ego Death.
There's only bans for right maps today, because it's not fucking heroes and characters and legends. So usually what I know is you ban the map that your opponent is good at. So here it's for characters, not for maps. So if you know a team has man, you're too loud. If you know a team has a good player on a certain character, you just ban it. So this is what I'm getting. All right, Hulk, smash. Oh, that's a nice skin.
No, they like to play it. FlyQuest does, and they also give the Snowflake to that Hulk to make sure, you know,
Wolverine got him. No, but he's doing some damage.
You know, playing maybe the arguably stronger backline right now, except Cloak and Dagger, you know, is good as well. However, momentum's already gone.
Yeah, well done,
Cloak and dagger? For who? For Ego Death? Yeah.
Team of Ego Death is going to be shoved back towards their spawn door. Spark Chief with the chase. Nice exile right there, trying to find the pick again, or at least pop the passive of Wolverine, but no, not able to do so. Team is going to reset as you should. If you lose value, if you lose,
so they have Loki,
odds are not going to be
Wolverine, Mag, Luna,
so they do not get that alt charge for
the Thing,
as we press in
and the
Fight
Punisher.
25%
What?
in favor of FlyQuest.
Yeah, no ultimates built on either side. Just
that combo is so weird, man.
Up, but it's scouted out yet again, so he has to take a different angle. Ego Death, they're trying to hard play around that Thing, but as we've talked about before, Chip, it's been hard for the Thing players so far in the tournament.
Yeah, and here we go. Energy on a nice off angle here. Energy, a very strong Psylocke, finding momentum and taking out momentum, if you will. Holding on to this dance of the butterfly. Just going to wait a little
Psylocke
bit
is
to find some picks.
doing some damage. Oh, here's the Thing. Let's go, Thing.
Trying to make sure the team getting. Oh, nice drop there. Adios is going to be on the Namor, taking out Sambo. Cooper onto Soko. Well done again by FlyQuest, who is now up and in ultimates and up in percentage, roughly 70%.
Why they playing Namor? Is he like a
the switched momentum over to Loki definitely helps, but
Namor main?
Momentum just goes down early to Energy, who was
Can
sitting on that off
switch?
angle. Nobody's clearing out these flanks right now. FlyQuest just controlling them so well. Here comes Self to finally clear out that Psylocke, but he needs to match that the whole time. Otherwise, Energy's going to do what he did earlier.
Passive still about a minute.
Psylocke is back. We have the Punisher ult. How many kills? 0 kills. One. No. He couldn't get a single kill.
Gonna drop some of those octopus on the high side, and that is going to be a dance of the butterfly. So
oh, Magneto.
Not a ton of value on either side.
Yep, no value. No one is dying. Alright, finally, Psylocke. Yep.
Energy on a far, and that could be it. For the first point here, FlyQuest just
this Psylocke is good.
Yep, statement match from them. I mean, FlyQuest played it so well. Ego Death almost, I think they played it pretty good going into that fight, right? You saw that whale, like you mentioned, they had the Emma Frost.
So, who's Psylocke?
Right,
is he Adios? No, not Adios.
For Ego Death, or rather, they didn't have.
Oh, Energy.
The opposite side, but for Ego
Energy
Death,
is
they've been able
Psylocke.
to kind of just create themselves space towards that point, but not able to finally secure any eliminations with that Wolverine, right? Not able to get that last stand off. It was difficult for Self to really set up, and right now for Ego Death, they need to change some things. They're going maybe for that Hella swap. That's
who's on YouTube?
An answer.
Sub, follow, whatever it's called.
Right now, I mean, FlyQuest look
Kick the same.
Formidable, and it's going to be very difficult.
Follow your boy.
Side to kind of deal with this whole competition, because Hulk is so good at just securing space. He's so good at just running and being a nuisance.
No one changed. I want to see Hela because I play Hela. Or I want to play Hela. I want to be good with Hela. So she didn't do anything because they lost. And Psylocke is doing great. Like this Energy guy, he's good.
Run and dive. Why not pull out the Namor Hulk combination and just shut that down? It does force them to play a little more poke, and they are
Wolverine.
just changing their mental takes on everything here. It looks like FlyQuest is just kind of owning every single fight on spacing. Smart Chief going to take the height. You notice how Smart
he's chasing him. He wanna kill Loki. No, the Thing is blocking him.
There goes the exile. Does find a little bit of value, forces out the dance floor. It is damage boost.
Oh, she's trying to kill Hela.
I'm not sure who is quite stunned yet. Energy on the off angle, and the point is now taken by Ego early on, 7%. We are seeing Qs popped everywhere. We had the last stand in the back line. Self takes out Cooper. Adios.
But they have the Thing and
it is so back and forth, just going crazy on Hulk here, and that's 3. Spark Chief looking incredible, but
he got 3 kills.
All of this is for naught if Ego can hold on.
No, I mean, Spark Chief just carried that. Now the portal comes back through from Zaytech. They still have the objective, but
good job, Hulk.
Ultimate canceled. Now FlyQuest fully in advantage. Obviously, they don't have the objective, so as long as Ego just kind of runs in, they can stall the point. But with this Onyx Seduction, that should finally secure.
Oh, she got 2.
Side of FlyQuest.
Emma.
Right now, it's been very hard for Ego Death. I think
who's Emma? He's Viz.
Luckily, they're on domination, so 44% on the point was built after that first fight in Self.
No, he's waiting for them.
Last stand, like you mentioned, but FlyQuest, right, surrounding the objective. You saw Spark Chief flank all the way over the top side. Energy that was there to collapse upon them. And right now, FlyQuest scouting, making sure they can stuff Ego Death at this choke.
Yeah, FlyQuest with ult advantage in this fight. Soko holding on to that Meteor Ram. I do like the shift in composition here from Ego heavily. It does bode well for them to play pokey together, allow Wolverine to find some value.
Oh, Psylocke in the back.
Great positioning here.
She has ult. She has ult.
Crystals, there they go. Now ult is available, ready to take a ton of space with this Q and allow the team some. Oh, Audio's going to find Self, and that's a great start. As we do see the dance now.
They did it at the same time with Hulk.
To get three is Sparchi playing hyper aggro and walking towards Far as Far falls as well. Energy, great positioning, great engagement timing, and that's what you want to see from players at this level. So well played, way to get those crystals out and way to follow up.
Yeah, this is why we see dive taking over the meta right now. Any sort of dive, honestly. You play Hulk dive, you play Venom dive, you play some sort of cap dive, and if you
Hulk dive is the best, I guess, because Hulk can. Venom is kind of tricky, actually. Because you can get excited and die quickly, especially if the healers are you're not in the range of your healers. But Hulk is more you can do that with Hulk. Gotta stay close. Alright, you see she's always going for Loki. Yes, he got him. He got him.
And it is completely switched. The dance floor is out again, and it's still being held by Ego. So the numbers are now shifting towards their favor. Yeah,
they flipped a point, but I mean they're still losing people here regardless.
Oh, hella ult! I love this ult.
But they need to find some eliminations here, Shiv. They need to do something, and right now Energy is just kind of roaming free. I'm not sure. Has he even gone down once? It feels like Energy is just
get the thing.
He did falter.
Oh, he went back.
Ego to flip the point.
Oh, he died.
Yeah, we saw Tap pop
Doctor Strange got him.
Doing the same thing. Very much
Wolverine is low.
Map where you can make plays on off angles and never be seen again, especially when you're Psylocke. Adios with two there is a huge start to this final fight as FlyQuest is
shit. She couldn't kill anyone.
And Adios holding on to the whale and the dance floor. Will this pick go out early? Energy tried. Here goes the Meteor Ram. No value there as crystals get popped. Energy takes out Far, and FlyQuest are gonna win map 1.
A big difference.
Yeah, what a map from FlyQuest.
FlyQuest is way better, man.
Beat them in the upper bracket to send them down below to go against Solaris and have a very tough series.
Way better.
FlyQuest, kind of leveling up, getting better throughout the tournament. And really, it is a well-deserved MVP from Cooper and this backline in general. I think the Luna Snow placements of the Snowflakes was perfect, keeping their Hulk alive. I mean, we talk about a lot of good strategist players in the world. FlyQuest, their backline is definitely one of them. I know they're seen as sort of villains on social media. I mean, I'm not going to get into that, obviously, but, it's cool to see them kind of have such a formidable backline. I think they're so strong.
That was so quick.
It's tough to eliminate Energy, to eliminate Spark Chief. I mean, Spark Chief had no casualties, so just really good job. I think that was a testament to his positioning, obviously in the Vanguard positioning, but realistically the strategists doing a good job keeping their front line alive at all times and rotating that Snowflake when it's necessary to either Energy or that Hulk.
We talk about more obscure compositions, and we haven't seen much Namor in this pro play. So well done there by Adios, who didn't get KO'd a single time. 9 final hits, and Energy 13 final hits. And honestly, one of the stats you need to look at: 10k damage, 13 final hits. And you may be saying, as you're climbing ladder, that's not that much damage. Damage does not matter. It's all about taking out the backline and the those final hits are all that matters.
It's about the kills in the backline. We gotta kill the healers, the supporters.
Allowing their strategist lines to get those ults quickly. Instead, it was finding a ton of value and picking off everyone. As you see Energy here with
that play was good. Psylocke and the whole.
So much, just absolutely choked out right now of the opposite side. You know, in previous metas, Shib, it feels like we talked about Hulk being like that brawl character, not so much a dive hero. But in this game, I mean, dive is so interesting because it's so. We were talking to. Was it Hogs? I don't remember. I was talking to Wav, maybe. One of the pro players was talking about how in this game in Marvel Rivals, it's so easy to take these flank angles compared to other hero shooters. I think you have to fight for space. In this game, not really, right? We saw energy free pretty much every time. Now you could say that's maybe the fundamentals of Ego Death not being there, right? Clearing out these angles, clearing out Psylocke, making sure these cooldowns are used. It's tough because all these flank angles, all these positionings was just taken by FlyQuest, and there was really nothing they could do. Self-marked it like once, but we need to see that constantly. Like if you're not constantly doing damage to the front line, that's fine. As long as you're, one-for-one trade, if you're on Wolverine, making sure their Psylocke is not getting in position. We saw Envy do that versus Ego Death whenever Self was on Black Panther.
What the fuck? So
saw the Cal said he was on
they both
duty, right? He was just making sure
these two guys are the
I mean, smart fundamentals, good fundamentals out of
they are the ones who are commenting like the fucking the casters, and they are the ones who's speaking and analyzing, and so they just have two people to do the whole thing, the casting, damn. I mean, the game is, they don't have that much money, so obviously they won't hire a lot of people, if that makes sense. Shroud team 1-2-0 and FlyQuest 1-0. So we still have another game. It's a best of 3. Yeah, I don't know. FlyQuest is obviously gonna win even the second one. I'm betting on them. I'm betting on them. That's a skin. Looks ugly. Nah, give him the rope. You never miss? What the hell? We all miss. We all miss. Ba-da-ba-ba. 2 minutes again. Hold on, let me see my TikTok. Oh, we got 203 views. Nice. It's a brand new TikTok. Let's see this short. Where's the short? 92. I posted it this morning or last night. That's good. We getting there. We going up slowly. Oh, there is someone in YouTube. Hello, hello, hello. يا هلا يا هلا يا هلا ومرحبا. Yeah, we're gonna play some Marvel Rivals after we watch. I don't know. FlyQuest? Maybe Sentinels. Because they have good players. Who's playing on Sentinels? Hold on, let's see. Go back. Maybe I know a name or two. Chastity K, Mark, Aramori, Karova, LA Amazing, Super Gomez, Tiki, Logan, Nectar. Oh, I know Nectar. He's a YouTuber, right? Hold on, let me see.
And you know, I kind of made this. I had this conversation with you. I just wanted to see Ego have another successful dive round, but I don't know that we're going to see it as teams are now countering it and ensuring they take home the W.
Yeah, right now for Ego Death, their next evolution for this team is, you know,
I heard that name before. Come on,
Quest, right? Like we're talking about Techie, it's cherry on top because they're already qualified for the playoffs. But for Ego Death, their next evolution is definitely increasing the a little bit. Maybe
so he's the first player in the world.
This one, and this is when we talk about losses.
Playing Psylocke.
You learn a lot more from losses than from wins a lot of the time, right? We talked about how I think in interviews, you know, across the pond when we see teams play against, you know,
just give us the game, man. What the fuck? You guys talk a lot.
There's not much to take away from there, so that's why you see a lot of the top teams.
What? They have a new one?
The lower.
3 villain was revealed in the 2.5 lore. In the lore, Emma Frost made a deal with Doom 2099, which gave him the excess Chronal energy flooding Krakoa in exchange for Extron's head. We then see Hawkeye and Iron Fist being infected with the Ultron virus, only able to keep control due to Bucky's mental exercises they went through. They were then joined by Magneto and were able to retrieve the Cerebro. This is where Doom 2099 used the Chronal energy to finally defeat Extron, but then betrayed Emma and our heroes. However, the Ultron that Iron Man reprogrammed managed to land a killing blow on Doom, but this ended up just being a robot version of him. But with that robot gone, they're safe for now. But it didn't last that long, because as soon as they defeat the robot Doom, Adam Warlock senses Null re-emerge, thus giving us our next villain. Marvel Rivals Season.
And who's that? Hopefully it's a good one.
Forcing out those crystals early just makes Loki very vulnerable, as he doesn't have a ton of escape. The invisible can happen, but you catch a stray shot there by Psylocke and you are immediately uninvisible. You're out in the open and you have nothing left, and we saw just a ton of KOs onto that back line.
Yeah, bear in mind, don't invest too much in the stats, because I think it doesn't tell the full story. It definitely tells the part that like Momentum was the hard target, right? It's a team effort to clear out these angles and or even play the dive comp yourself, right? It's tough because I think how they played it is definitely not ideal.
All right, let's go. Come on, give us the game.
It wasn't necessarily his fault entirely. Like the team, I think I'm not gonna say let him down, but the whole team as a unit just had a tough time clearing out, like you mentioned, that Psylocke.
This is just North America, right?
With Ego Death, we'll see how they do it.
Because I know
maybe a look at this Hulk, maybe something with FlyQuest specifically.
EU is the best when it comes to gaming. I don't know if there is that many players from EU.
Struggle with Peel, because honestly, Peel isn't as common when you're going dive. You're fully
Europeans, like Swedish, Polish,
and catch up with the vanguards, and they were
French.
over quickly. So you need to make
there's a lot of gamers there.
Giving them some time and some space to be able to.
Who the fuck is talking outside?
The 9 KOs there, or excuse me, 8 KOs there on Momentum. Like you said, a hard focus on the Momentum and Far.
Vic, you here?
15 KOs against them.
Same bans for Ego Death. Not sure if I'm a crazy fan of that. I mean, I don't mind the Ultron ban, but what we saw on EMEA, it doesn't seem like the Ultron's the focal point of that sort of system. Ego Death banning out Torch. Did they do the same thing last time? They're not changing anything, it looks like, Chip.
Yeah, definition of insanity here, where you can't expect new results if you're going to run the same thing over and over again. I am with you. I think we need to see something different, but maybe they had a conversation about what they needed to change. Maybe we'll see something different here. Typically, we see Ego pop off more frequently on things like Convoy, and they do like these diving maps like Araco, obviously chosen is a randomized.
All right, so Luna, Mag,
so
they banned.
Go down Oraco, which we have seen them have a ton of success with over this tournament. But like we have been saying, Dive is virtually off the table for them, which is
what the hell? We have Rocket.
I suppose the
Our
only
boy
variant
Rocket,
for map 1 was
the raccoon,
banned,
Groot and Rocket.
So FlyQuest now
you have the thing, Luna, Mag.
You know, the Mag, you know, getting banned on the opposite side. So we'll see if that's enough. You know, maybe we see these sort of unsigned teams. I feel like do the same.
They don't have any fucking duelist. How are they gonna win?
You know, we saw
no one can do damage.
One thing, put in the Luna Stell this time, getting rid of the Emma for ego death. And since the ban phase was, I'm not going to say not exciting, but maybe you know, the same thing as last time, Shib, what since you're the lore guy, you know, what do we got here on this map on Oraco? You know, is it similar to Krakoa?
Sure, yeah. So Krakoa and Oraco are essentially sister islands. So torn apart, Oraco is more of an aggressive, war-focused, or at least more of a battle-focused island. So Ultron has their eye on Oraco. So you'll actually, one of the crazy things for those of you who don't know, you're actually walking Krakoa towards Oraco. So a pretty cool little lore aspect of the map there, as you see right there. Krakoa, great timing, and thank you, observers, as Krakoa is now going to start walking forward on the first point. Here we go.
Here we go.
FlyQuest gonna play
Magneto,
triple Vanguard, triple strategist, right? We see this a lot of the time, just to hold objective, right? Just to make sure you're constantly getting fights, and this is a good map for it. I think it's super.
And the other team, would they have Punisher and Wolverine, so they can do damage.
Vanguard, triple strategist, making sure this cart is never taken for ego death as energy sets up angles. You saw this. This is what we talked about in terms of fundamentals.
Why they are so spread? Really like Magneto to the right.
Flank angle on Magneto, just able to get so much damage on the offside, similar to a duelist would. And right now, I mean, that's pressuring ego death even in their own spawn. Sambo's going to go down early.
Yeah, that recent change giving him reduced cooldown on that right click, as we see a pick there onto Zaytex. Well done by Energy. These early spawn door holds buying them a ton of time, forcing out ultimates early and allowing FlyQuest. Oh wow, another great pick there onto Self, as we will see the cooldown for the passive pop. They are
so FlyQuest, they don't need a fucking duelist because they're good. That's the goal.
On these maps, it's all about holding here for as long as possible, not expecting to keep them.
Oh, they got them.
As much time so that you can get a
come on, alt, Magneto, alt.
We do see the popular final judgment onto the back.
He fell, dude. Oh no.
Oh, he fell?
He meant to do that, Shiv. He fell down the crack, and now he's stuck.
Happened twice there. Gonna have to smoke grenade back up to the top here. Again, gonna be shoving them back in, utilizing those ultimates, not finding a ton of value is going to be a major downside. Best gonna find Zaytex.
Oh, Magneto.
Well done by
he got one.
Early picks energy onto Self once more, and they cannot get out of this zone. They are locked in, and they are
Mag versus Mag.
Team reset, and we are gonna see a composition shift. We now have the Iron Man, who's gonna help clear out some of these Groot walls.
Yeah, this to me is experience right now for FlyQuest finally coming into fruition, right? They able to take those flank angles.
The thing is doing damage. They both blame the thing.
And they got Groot ulted. So right now, FlyQuest shoving ego death towards their own spawn. It's been tough for ego death to find any purchase here.
And they are starting to at least progress the point forward, but Vess again onto Zaytex. Another early find here, doing that almost every single fight. Everything being popped.
Damn, Groot is doing his best.
At this point, Ego got to make sure they hold on and use ults together as the covering time. Not going to find much value either, as the team just was not prepared for it.
Energy took another angle on the right side, just boops away that Wolverine who's trying to get close to him. He's keeping him at an arm distance, you know, like an adult with a child. Now, as Zaytex finds Spark Chief earlier on, but Rez from the beginning.
What? Wolverine can do that shit?
So FlyQuest still trying to win. Cooper with the copy now comes in with the Fate of the Worlds.
Yeah, and we do.
Yep,
just
the ult.
To that Meteor M here for Energy, potentially trying to shut down this Fate of both worlds. And no, I'm just gonna like to choose to hold on to that a little bit longer, use it as an escape method, as Energy's just been sitting here on the point with no contest for a while. Up we go. Cooper gonna be dropping Sambo there, and that's another.
They didn't get anything.
As they are just sweeping through Ego with all these ultimates. FlyQuest is gonna be roughly even. Maximum pulse goes down, and Eden and turned around as Fire goes down. Energy, a demon here on this Magneto. Again, Spark Chief on the momentum, and oh my goodness, Vess onto Sambo and
Zaytex, and are you kidding me?
I gotta kill him. They fucking winning, man.
I mean, easily the most
they didn't even let them breathe.
Unless EgoDeath just have the biggest last stand of all time, it's all on Self here. But that's why we see Iron Man's. It's been tough to get ultimates off on that character against Meteor M. All these Magneto players just hold their ultimate for you and then toss it right back into your back line. Right now, it's all on Self, and he's able to find Spark Chief yet again. And then Vess.
Yeah, the Rez is going to bring back Spark Chief early. Number still down for the side of Fly. Zatex taking out.
Oh, Wolverine is trying his best. Yep. He got 2.
That's 4. Make it 5. Self now
what?
Up, but we are in
he got 5?
And things are getting serious. Alt advantage. Actually, neither team going to have much. We will see 2 for the side of Ego, who need to make some big plays here with the cap and the maximum pulse. Teleport goes out. It's going to wall off some LOS. And like we said, we like to see those teleports block off and be used as a wall. It's just there's no reason to not use them in that fashion.
Oh, Psylocke energy.
Energy on the high
He's
side.
good.
Going to be making switch onto Psylocke, trying to find Zatex on height. Zatex going to be staying up there with Iron Man. Haven't seen a ton of Iron Man so far, but it is difficult to get ults off when you have the Magneto. Maximum pulse goes out. Not going to be matched, but instead not going to find value as the return to sender was not ready for the Meteor M.
I mean, energy
oh, he's trying to run.
Even though he has the snowflake pressuring him out, here comes a Meteor M on the backside.
Yep, he got one.
From Soko, and it does. Cooper goes down. I mean, this could be a momentum shift for EgoDeath.
Yeah, EgoDeath is finding their footing, and that all does find some purchase on a Zatex, but we are going to have the fate of both worlds keeping the team.
Nah, he couldn't do anything with the Agamotto Eye.
Last long goodbye immediately as it was out there. Tough to see the Cosmic
Shit.
go down like that. Zello's gonna find Self Vest on the far. That should be it.
Yep.
Takes out 2.
Yep.
They
couldn't
corner,
do shit.
Defensive position.
Huge win from FlyQuest, and right now this is looking how the first series should have gone, honestly, between FlyQuest and EgoDeath. No offense to EgoDeath, but this matchup between FlyQuest and EgoDeath is looking like a tier above for FlyQuest, and
yeah,
you know, it's not any fault.
FlyQuest is doing
just the team
great
right now from EgoDeath. Maybe needs to relook at things, right? Because we saw first fight, they just got like pushed off. We saw angles being taken by Energy, and you know, on that note, you know, a lot of people in ranked will tell you, you know, if you're on a Hela or if you're on any hero, really, just to take flanks, you know, they don't really mean flank the whole map, go hide in the back line or whatever. They mean, you know, sort of take an off angle, you know, take a different approach to it, make sure they're pressured, force them to do something about it. You use your cooldowns to get back.
What happened?
He was constantly keeping them off of him and then falling back to his team. So that's really what you do, is that you take like a sort of soft off angle and then you fall back to your team.
What?
Like you did. So
why am lagging?
Right now, FlyQuest kind of playing as a better team, and EgoDeath, the real answer as well to what they did on attack is not to send everybody over there, because you tunnel vision on one person that's being annoying to your team, you're going to go down to the Strangling Prison like we saw out of Vest. He had 3 Strangling Prisons. One of them hit the...
Alright, the stream is good now, but I'm kinda lagging. YouTube.
Obviously, but you know, it's tough in this game because, you know, everything's projectile.
Adore them. Oh my goodness! What a decision!
This stupid internet.
To not allow anyone out. That is a really smart portal idea, and you love to see that.
Of Ego. I mean, yeah, sure, they're only getting picked anytime he has the frozen arrow up, but regardless, you...
What? The fuck is wrong with my internet? What the fuck? Hold on, let me restart this shit.
You talked about this, Shib, how Egodeath plays that Hawkeye to a high level, right?
Yeah, I think Self is a really mean Hawkeye. You can see just on the stat line alone, starting off this round 8-3, obviously with the Wolves.